Imagine a night so extraordinary it forever changed the fate of thousands of lives. A silent night, yet filled with mystery and power. A night where hope seemed lost, and defeat felt inevitable. There were no clashing swords, no war, cries only, the whispering wind weaving through the ancient walls of a besieged city. Something unseen was about to unfold, something human eyes could never fully explain. Get ready, because you are about to relive one of the most fascinating and mysterious events ever recorded in human history. The night when God fought alone. What really happened during that decisive moment? How did an unstoppable army vanish without a trace of battle? Stay with us until the end of this video and discover shocking details that will forever change your understanding of God's invisible hand at work. The year is 701 BC, Jerusalem, known for its high, impenetrable walls built to withstand the fiercest assaults, is now facing a threat like no other. Outside the city, a vast and merciless army surrounds its gates. The Assyrians, one of the most brutal and destructive empires the ancient world had ever known. 185,000 soldiers, disciplined, relentless, an ocean of iron pressing in from every side. Leading them is Sennacherib, king of Assyria. His legacy wasn't just one of military conquest, it was one of cruelty. Wherever his armies went, cities burned, nations fell, and survivors were dragged away in chains. A man whose very name sent fear ahead of him, like thunder before a storm. But his most dangerous weapon wasn't made of steel. It was blasphemy. Sennacherib didn't just want to conquer Jerusalem. Mothers wept as they clutched their children, unable to soothe them. Soldiers grew weak, sleep-deprived, and hopeless. Their weapons felt useless against the overwhelming force outside. He wanted to publicly humiliate the God of Israel to reduce their faith to ashes in front of the known world. Inside the walls, terror reigned. Each passing day brought deeper despair. In his palace, King Hezekiah sat burdened beyond imagination. He wasn't just making decisions for battle, he held the future of every man, woman, and child on his shoulders. Walking slowly through the palace halls, Hezekiah heard the whispers of fear, saw the silent questions in the eyes of his people. Is there any hope left? Even the priests and temple guards began to wonder silently. His military advisors had exhausted every possible strategy. Food and water supplies were dwindling. Morale was breaking, and every morning Sennacherib sent new messengers to mock the city and its God. Began to fear that maybe, just maybe, God had turned his face away. Where is your mighty God now? What God has ever stopped me before? None, and yours won't either. These words weren't just insults, they were like poison, tipped arrows piercing the hearts of Jerusalem's defenders. Is God really listening? The atmosphere in the city grew heavier by the day, not because of swords or siege engines, but because of something more dangerous. Doubt. The people, the soldiers, even the spiritual leaders, and then on the darkest night when all hope seemed lost, something happened. Something no man could see. It was in the face of complete human helplessness that King Hezekiah made a bold and unexpected decision. Not guided by military counsel, but driven by the cry of faith, he walked alone. No guards, no generals, only a letter in his hands. A letter filled with threats and blasphemy from Sennacherib, king of Assyria, and the invisible power of a God who never loses a battle. Something no general could predict. And when he arrived at the sacred altar of the temple, Hezekiah knelt, tears in his eyes, hands trembling, and laid that wicked letter before the Lord. Something no soldier could fight. Heaven moved, without a sound. No lightning, no trumpets, just the stillness. Doubt had become a slow poison, eroding the courage of Jerusalem's defenders with each passing sunrise. His footsteps echoed through the stone corridors, heavy with the burden of an entire nation. O Lord, God of Israel, he prayed, incline your ear and see. Hear the words this man has spoken to defy the living God. Hezekiah was no longer just a king. Deliver us, O Lord, not for our sake, but so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you alone are God. In that moment he was a broken vessel, surrendered, pleading for divine mercy. And while his prayer echoed through the quiet halls of the temple, God was already moving. Elsewhere, the prophet Isaiah received a clear word from heaven. He will not enter this city, not a single arrow will be fired. He will return the way he came, and the Lord, will defend this city, not by human hands, but by my own. The answer from heaven required no armies, only faith. That night, Jerusalem went to sleep unaware it would soon witness one of the most silent, yet most devastating miracles in all of human history. In the Assyrian camp, 185,000 soldiers slept in arrogant confidence. They believed the city was already theirs. They didn't know it would be their last night on earth. And then, the angel of the Lord descended. No sound, no battle cries, no resistance. Only an invisible presence, moving like a holy wind through the tents. There were no screams, no drawn swords, just a divine judgment, delivered without warning, without mercy. One by one, the soldiers fell, touched by a force no man could withstand. By dawn, Jerusalem awoke. The watchmen climbed the city walls, expecting the final assault. But instead, they found silence, stillness. The mighty Assyrian army had been annihilated, not by chariots, not by warriors, but by the hand of heaven. That morning, the people of Jerusalem poured into the streets. Soldiers fell to their knees. Children cried, not in fear, but in gratitude. The city had been saved. God had fought for them, and God had won. That day would be remembered forever. The day when heaven intervened in silence, and the voice of victory was heard without a sound. But this story is not just history. It is a message for you, for today, because even in the silence, God is still fighting for you. When the enemy surrounds, when hope feels lost, when every door is closed, God's silence is not absence. It's strategy. It's preparation for a miracle. If this message stirred something in your spirit, if it renewed your faith or gave you strength to keep trusting, Dante, keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more powerful messages that will ignite your faith and remind you God is still moving, God is still fighting, and God has never lost a battle. See you in the next video. May God continue to fight for you.